Welcome, foolish mortals, to another episode of the Hitchhiking Host Show. We are your ghost hosts, Wes
and Jen,
and we are both back from quite a week, and a long weekend for Jen. But we were both in Walt Disney World, so we're here for the trip report. I'll tell you guys right away. I'm sure you've all heard about the fire with the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which was exactly it was the night before I left. A fire struck the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train from the fireworks from the Magic Kingdom, and I was like, "Holy crap! I'm not gonna get on." So I literally changed my Fast Pass back to Space Mountain. Because I originally had Space Mountain, and then the Mine Train was available, so I switched it to that. Then I switched it back to Space Mountain when I heard that. About 10 minutes after I switched it, the Mine Train was open again. Luckily, I could switch it back to the Mine Train. And also, I found out, by doing that, Anna and Elsa meet and greet was available for a Fast Pass too, so it actually worked out well. So I got all the Fast Passes I could have wanted out of my trip. So anyway, with all that drama, that was the night before. So then Sunday, I left for the airport and went through Atlanta and had a layover and got to Orlando and got my bags because, unfortunately, if you come in after 10 o'clock at night, you have to get your own bags and take them to the Magic Express, but it worked out well. And I thought it was interesting that I had to use my Magic Band right away at the airport. You can use either your paperwork, or if you have your Magic Band on, you can use your Magic Band, and it's faster. So a West tip here, have your Magic Band on when you're ready to get in the Magic Express line, because you can go through faster. And got on the Magic Express, got to the hotel, I checked in at the All-Star Music, and funny enough, the guy at the All-Star Music that checked me in used to live about 20 minutes away from where I live right now, and he used to work at the Temple Walmart here. So it was weird, but it was funny because we made a Small World joke. We're like, it really is a small world after all. I know. So I checked into the Broadway section of the hotel, and that was that night because I got there around 1 o'clock, something in the morning. Went to bed, and then the next morning I hit the Magic Kingdom. I got there for the opening, got the rope drop, saw the opening show, and almost had a heart attack when Anna and Elsa were right there next to Mickey. I didn't realize them. You guys will see the video. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Stitch and Alice and Anna and Elsa. You just hear like all these people scream. I'm like, what are they screaming about? Ah! But anyway, it sucked that the railroad was closed for that, but they still did the show. And then right after the rope drop, because I had my Fast Passes, I didn't have to run where the whole crowd was running toward the Mine Train, which was closed anyway in the early morning because of, I guess they were doing some testing and whatnot. So they either ran to the Mine Train or to the meet and greet at the Princess Hall. So I went and did Under the Sea with Little Mermaid for the first time. I really liked that ride. I had seen it times before on YouTube, but this was the first time in person that I got to see it, so I thought it was cool. I liked the disco ball and the Under the Sea scene that I pointed out. I thought the animatronics were pretty interesting on there. They're really lifelike. I like the talking scuttle and all that. Then I went to Enchanted Tales with Belle, and I didn't get picked, unfortunately, but I was videotaping the first time, so I was glad I didn't. The mirror did not work So when they say, "Take me back to the day Belle and Beast fell in love," it sort of worked, and then it sort of didn't, and then you heard boing, and I'm like, "What was that?" And the lady's like, "Oh, sometimes Maurice has some problems with his inventions," and we sort of waited in the room awkwardly for like 15 minutes or so. And then luckily the mirror did work and we got in, so it wasn't too bad. But I thought that was a really cool interactive activity for the kids. It's cool that Belle comes and does the story with the kids and whatnot, and it's fun. I would recommend it. Same with Under the Sea, obviously. I did some favorites like Space Mountain, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, Haunted Mansion, of course. And I got to see Memento Mori's for the first time. I absolutely loved it there. I got some things from there that I will show later on in the show for my haul. I got on Country Bear Jamboree once again. That was the first time in 12 years that I've been able to get on that. So I was thrilled. Splash Mountain, of course, which was also closed that day in the morning. Mickey's PhilharMagic. I used my FastPass Plus for Peter Pan. By the way, I had no problems at all with my Magic Band. And I definitely recommend a FastPass for Peter Pan because everyone knows how those waits are. The Tiki Room I got in once again and loved that, of course. I had lunch at Pinocchio's Village Haas. And yes, I'll say it as Haas. So the lunch was pretty good. It was busy that day, by the way. There were lines everywhere by the time I ate lunch. Then it was time for my FastPass for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and I got right on that. I highly, highly, highly recommend, if you can, if it's still available, definitely book a FastPass for the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, because as we've said on here before, it's a very quick ride. I liked it. I didn't love it.
It wasn't long enough for you.
Exactly. It starts off right away. It's weird because I didn't even have my camera going, and I'm like, Jesus! And it starts right out of the gate, and like they don't even tell you. And I'm like, thanks for the warning, guys. Then I really did like the animatronics in it, of the dwarves. They're very high scale, and you can tell they're brand new. I really liked those. But you go through very fast, and you know, I think you get to see all seven. It's you know, definitely dopey in the front, but then you go through, see the dwarves, and then you have some turns and twists and whatnot. It's basically, yeah, it's better than the Barnstormer, but not as exciting as Big Thunder Mountain. Definitely, it's somewhere in between there. But I did like the animatronics, and I like at the end when you go past Snow White's cottage and you can see the dwarves dancing and singing, and then the evil queen is there, or the hag, I guess you could say, lurking at the door. I thought that was like one of the coolest parts. I'm like, hey! I got to see the Tangled bathrooms finally. I must say they're definitely, without a doubt, the nicest bathrooms on property. Possibly the nicest bathrooms I've ever seen in my life. I can't really remember all the bathrooms I've seen in my life, but those are on the top of the list. Definitely pee in Rapunzel's pee hole. They're definitely nice bathrooms. So definitely check those out when you're there. I like the tower, and inside even they have the pans hanging up in the bathroom, and the Flynn Rider poster and all that good stuff.
Because they have the lanterns that light up, so at night it's even prettier.
Then I went and saw the Festival of Fantasy Parade, and I really enjoyed that. Obviously, the Anna and Elsa are in it. The Maleficent Dragon is definitely a highlight. And I liked all the floats. The Peter Pan float, the Brave float was interesting. Little Mermaid, and all the rest. Mickey and Minnie, of course, at the end. I thought that was a much better parade than the last parade they had. So definitely check out Festival of Fantasy when you're there. Then I went to the Princess Fairy Tale Hall for my Fast Pass. We all know which one. I'll give you a hint, not Rapunzel and Cinderella. But Elsa and Anna, yes. Only had to wait a few minutes for that, so that was great. Got to talk to Elsa, tried to get out of her a little bit about the new castle show, but she said I had to come back. Of course, she couldn't really tell me, and I had to see it for the first time in forever, and then we joked that I make those jokes all the time. And then I saw Anna, and I tried to get a little bit out of her of the Frozen ride, and she told me she had no idea what I was talking about, so... So, job well done for my skilled reporting. She said she didn't even know what the Maelstrom was, so obviously she was in character, unless she never went to Epcot. So, but it was a lot of fun. Anna and Elsa are a lot of fun to meet. Definitely, if you can get a fast pass for them, definitely try and check out Anna and Elsa. I know I did. And then I did some more rides, Carousel Progress, of course, Jungle Cruise. When I had a wonderful skipper. I forget what his name was. I'll have to watch the video back. But he was hysterical. I think he was the most hysterical skipper I ever had. Me and this other guy were just like dying at like every joke. And everyone else was like, really? But he was great. Some of the jokes obviously are the same that I've heard before, but he had a lot of new jokes, so I really enjoyed it. Once again, it was busy at this time, so I had like I'm gonna say 40-minute wait for the Jungle Cruise, so I'm really glad it was a good skipper for that. And I also had a 35-minute wait on Pirates of the Caribbean, so that was pretty crazy. But I didn't get on Pirates at Disneyland, so I was definitely getting on Pirates this time. And plus I had already done most of the things, so I didn't mind waiting. After that, I had dinner at Pecos Bill's. And I had the double Angus burger and fries, and I actually took that to go. I enjoyed the toppings bar. I had some peppers and whatnot, and took it to go, and I secured my spot for the electric parade right outside of Pecos Bill. Interestingly enough, right next to the Native American statue in Fantasyland. I was right next to that. I was right in between that and a trash can, funny enough. I was like leaning up against the trash can, videotaping the parade. So I saw the electric parade, and that was fun. Celebrate the Magic I liked, and of course I enjoyed the Let It Go portion. Which I may or may not have made me cry. And Wishes I got to see once again. That's always a good show. You gotta love Tinkerbell flying from the tower and
Wishes.
Yeah, the songs. Yep, I like that fiber too. And luckily, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train didn't burn down that night, so that's good. It's a small world. I finally got on that and had at least a 30-minute wait all day. That was crazy. And Winnie the Pooh I got on. I pretty much walked on both of those, so that was cool. After Wishes, pretty much everyone walked out, and I ran back into Fantasyland. And then that was it for Magic Kingdom that night. Then the next day, I woke up and went over to Hollywood Studios. We did, or I did, Rock and Roller Coaster first thing, because I had my fast passes for everything else, so hit Rock and Roller Coaster and got right on that. Did Star Tours twice, right in a row. I got on right away. And this was the first time I actually had ever seen the pod race scene, which I enjoyed because I love Sebulba's pod racer in the movies. He goes, and I absolutely loved that he was in the scene, and it just cracked me up. So I got on that twice, and then went on the Great Movie Ride. And everyone knows, I'm sure I've had to at least say it a few times on here, that I've been on it at least 6 times. I've had 6 vacations. I'm not sure if I ever went on twice in one vacation, but I had never, ever gotten the cowboy. I had always gotten the gangster. So I was really hoping I was going to get the cowboy this time. Yeah, I was very happy when I looked back and saw there was a second tour guide. So I finally did get to see the cowboy scene, and unfortunately I did not understand one word that the actor portraying the cowboy said, but I was just so happy I didn't care. Then I went and saw, literally for the first time in forever, I saw the Frozen sing-along, I had a fast pass for that. That's another one you want to get a fast pass for. If you really want to see it, suggested fast pass for that, because they let everyone in first that has a fast pass, and the rest of the people are basically stuck on bleachers in the back. So you definitely want a seat right near the front. I think I was in the second or third row. So that was definitely cool. I know we had talked about that on the show before, where I had said it was kind of cheap that they just show the scene on the screen and have the royal historians tell the story, and we get only a few minutes of the characters. But I actually really did enjoy the show. Of course, you see Anna and Kristoff, and the royal historians. The guy was hysterical, so that made it worth it. And I don't think, and of course, all the kids sang.
Wes sang too. He just doesn't want to admit it.
I may have joined in a little bit during Let It Go. I don't know. Might or might not have. You have to watch the video and see if you hear me. Then, of course, at the end, Elsa comes out to a grand entrance and makes it snow in the theater, which is awesome. After that, I went into Wandering Oaken's trading post. Of course, that's the main spot for all your Frozen merchandise. And then they also have the snow ground, which is like sort of like a sandbox, but it's supposedly snow that the kids can play in. And that was pretty cool, figuratively and literally. It was a shop, but I thought it was neat. It was neat that they brought that to life. And also a little tip here for if. I don't know how long it'll still be there, but for you Backlot Tour fans, you can still see some of the items from the Boneyard if you look right outside of Wandering Oakens, behind the Christmas trees outside. Then after that, I went and saw Voyage of the Little Mermaid, and that was what it usually is. I went into the Magic of Disney Animation Pavilion. That was the first time in a long time. The first time in forever. There were many security guards guarding all the Oscars in there, but I thought something was going down in there, but it just so happened that it was like a security guard training, and they were just talking about it. So then it was time for my Fast Pass for Tower of Terror. That was great as normal, although there was something at the end of the drop that I never saw before, and now I can't remember what it was. It was something on the screen at the very bottom, and I'm like, that was new, and then it went back up for one final drop. I can't remember what it was. I have to watch the video. But it was cool. And like the guy next to me was like talking. I'm like, what are you doing? why are you not afraid? Not like, you know what I mean? He's like, oh, it's better at night when it's like going up and down. I'm like, just enjoy the friggin' ride, buddy. They go on it at night, you jackass. Then after that, I saw the Muppets, which is wonderful as always.
Did they have a new movie at the beginning? The pre-show movie?
The one with Constantine?
Yeah.
Yeah. They had that in California too.
Oh, of course, in California.
I got to see the last few days of The Legend of Captain Jack Sparrow, which I can see why it's closing. We talked about it that last show. It isn't the greatest thing ever, but at least I can say I saw it. And then I saw Toy Story Midway Mania. Used my Fast Pass for that. That was good. You definitely use a Fast Pass for that too, because people they'll knock each other over to get on that ride first thing in the morning, and it was so nice to just be like, I'll just go over here with these 5 people that are going to Rock and Roller Coaster. So I don't have to fight the humongous crowd. Definitely get a Fast Pass for Toy Story Mania if it's available. I saw the Beauty and the Beast show for the first time in at least
forever.
Yeah, or at least since 2002 or possibly 2000 is the last time I saw that show. So I actually didn't remember a whole lot. I knew the story, obviously, and the songs, but I enjoyed the dramatic of the prince, and so, I thought it was good. I enjoyed Gaston, too. He was funny. And then right after that, I booked it because right next door is the The Long Walk to Fantasmic. And I had a pretty close seat for that. I was like in the 4th or 5th row, so... That, of course, was packed as always. And Mickey's... the fire in Mickey's hands didn't go off in the beginning. You know when the fireworks come out of his fingers?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, the music's like, bum, bum, bum! And he just sort of had his fingers in the air and nothing happened. And I'm like, well, that's up. And after Fantasmic, the park closed early, so I went over to downtown Disney, and I must say there's lots of construction going on there. Many construction walls up for the Disney Springs project, which of course is ongoing. I stopped in the Marketplace Co-op because I had to. What hardcore Disney fan doesn't? And I thought the stuff for the what do you call it? The housewares and all that. I thought that was cool, but I was a little disappointed in the store itself. You know, they have the cell phone cases, they have the makeup and the purses and the sports stuff, which of course I didn't look at. I mostly was looking at the dinnerware with the parks poster stuff, and I really liked the little Mr. Toad figure. But you know, it was all stuff that I had seen previously on the Disney Store website, and I didn't order it then. And you know, when you're bringing back a whole suitcase of stuff, you don't really want stuff that'll break, so I figured I can always order it online, you know. But I did like the plates and the glasses. If I would have bought something, it would have been the glass with Haunted Mansion and Pirates on the back, but they didn't have any. So, what are you gonna do? So I liked Marketplace Co-op, but I thought it would have been better from all the hype that I had heard. And then I had dinner at Earl of Sandwich, which of course I had my Hawaiian barbecue sandwich, which I always get and always enjoy. And that was pretty much it for Downtown Disney. I walked through the whole thing and saw everything, but you know, it is what it is. Wednesday morning, I headed over to Epcot. I ran right to Test Track because I didn't have a fast pass for that because they used the tier system there. So I got on Test Track. I only had to wait, I'd say, about 10 minutes, which is not bad for that. That's the first time I was on the 2.0 version. I guess that's the unofficial title, or Tron Track. I was very impressed with the new Test Track. I liked it a lot more than the first version. Thought it was really cool. And you can design your car. I thought that was going to be weird because you have 6 people in the car, but you put your design against everyone else's, and whoever is the best is the winner. So you design your car, you go boo, 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 boo. I actually videotaped it, and you draw like a line and select your color and all that, and whether you want it for speed or whatnot, blah, blah, blah. But the ride itself, I really enjoyed. I thought it's a nice upgrade. It's always disappointing if they take a ride you like and they turn it into crap. That is not the the problem here. Just like Star Tours, I like the newer version better. And I like this version better. Then right after I got off, I went right back on the single riders line and I walked right on. When you do the single riders line or the fast pass, you do not create the version again. You pick a car that they already have created. So, and you have like 20 seconds to pick a car, and then you go on into the line. So then after the Test Track, the second time, I got to wander over to the old Wonders of Life Pavilion, which of course is the festival center, and I got some free Werther's caramel apple candies. I got to see
Ghirardelli chocolate.
Yeah, I almost thought I stole a Ghirardelli's, but luckily it was a free giveaway. They almost had to call security on me. But I really like that because they had the chocolate versions of the Toy Story and Avatar and all that. They had chocolate versions of all that stuff, which were cool, and I took pictures of all of it, of course. And I tried to... I knew where the Making of Me was because it's the only theater that's there, but I was trying to figure out where Body Wars and Cranium Command had been, and it's just too hard to figure out now because they have everything so done over. But at least I can say I was in the Wonders of Life Pavilion one more time, even if it's not Wonders of Life anymore. Then I finally went on Mission Space for used my Fast Pass for that. Not a long wait at all the whole time I was there. You know, I'm not the biggest Mission Space fan. It's not in my favorites, but it wasn't as bad as I remembered it being, so I don't hate it as much as I did, but it's still not the greatest thing. And then I went into the Journey to Imagination ride, saw Figment. Yes, the Epcot morning, other than Test Track, I was playing what did I enjoy better, and everything I was on, I enjoyed better in the 80s. Captain EO, I got to see and had a good laugh at Michael Jackson's acting. Uh, of course, I love the movie though. I do. The first time I saw Captain EO, I wasn't really that into it, but now I've seen it 3 times, and it gives me a good laugh. Spaceship Earth. I thank the Phoenicians, of course. I use my Fast Pass, and may I suggest, use a Fast Pass for Spaceship Earth because it now has like 35-minute waits because of the people using their Fast Passes. Plus,
depending on when you go, though.
Then I went on the Finding Nemo, the Seas with Nemo and Friends, and that was cool. Watched the Turtle Talk, and that was funny as usual. Ate lunch at the Sunshine Seasons, and had my usual turkey sandwich. That's always good. That's something nice, and a little potato salad. That's always nice for something different and a little more healthy in the land. Went on the Living with the Land boat ride. And then, of course, I had my Fast Pass for Soarin'. I sang, of course, my Soarin' with Wes song. Was in my head, not out loud, throughout the ride, and chuckled to myself. Yeah, that was funny. Then I was down in Future World. I didn't go on Ellen. So I headed over to World Showcase and checked out all the booths in the Food and Wine Festival. Went by. I'm not very adventurous with the food, so I went around quite a lot. Went on the Three Caballeros ride, the Grand Fiesta Tour. And even that had a little bit of a line. Not much of a line. It's the only ride there now, so. And speaking of, I went and saw where the Maelstrom was. They have boarded up where the waterfall is, so you can't see anything. It's just like this black board. I'm just like, wow. But they do still have the shop. They still have the big troll. Then I went into China, and I actually saw the movie, The Reflections of China. I can't even tell you the last time I saw that. It might have been 97 or possibly 2000. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I ever saw it, but I'm pretty sure I saw it at one point, but I can't remember when. But it's been a long time. Let's just put it that way. And that was cool. That's one of those 360 circle movies where you stand and lean on the rails, or lean on the rails, I mean. Went and saw The American Adventure, and that was good. The Voices of Liberty, of course, performed. Boys to Men were there that night, so we had lots of screaming cougars everywhere. We had screaming cougars and drunk men in sombreros everywhere. Welcome to Food and Wine. And speaking of food and wine, I did have a few things. I tried, well, one of my favorite things from Canada, booth, which of course they have at Le Cellier, my favorite restaurant in the world. The cheddar cheese soup. So I had a little cup of that, and that hit the spot. That was awesome. And then I had the pork slider from Hawaii, and that was great too. But other than that, I didn't have anything else that night. I was very hungry. That was like an appetizer to me. So I went to the UK pavilion and had some fish and chips, and those were very good. I went and saw O Canada, the movie with Martin Short, and that's funny. I enjoy that. And then it was time for Illuminations, and I scouted my spot about 45 minutes, an hour early. Chatted with a nice family, and then randomly some woman tried to get in between us like 5 minutes before the show started with a double baby carriage and her husband, and she didn't understand that she couldn't fit in this little spot. So I don't know. She gave me a very dirty look. But, you know, whatever. And then the woman next to me wouldn't let her in, and the guy next to me wouldn't let her in, so I don't know if she ever finds a spot. I'm sure she barged her way into somewhere, but evidently it's not the happiest place on earth for everyone.
Nope.
Thursday, in the morning, I headed over to Animal Kingdom. I had a fast pass right away for Kilimanjaro Safaris. I had a good safari, had a lot of animals. I had some giraffes pretty close over on the right-hand side. It was 2 of them. They were like right near the road, so everyone was like checking that out. And then I turned around, and literally like a few feet away from me was a giraffe, like with his head right at me. And I turned around like, holy crap! So I got a really good video of that. So that's awesome. The giraffes are just so beautiful up close. When they're that close to you, it's awesome. I got to see the lion sleeping. and the female lion sitting there like she normally does. So that was cool to see that. The giraffes were definitely the highlight. I went and did the Pangani Trail, and I saw the not the newly born baby gorilla, but the baby gorilla from a few months ago that was born was playing, and it was adorable. He was down with the mom, and the mom was trying to eat, and he just like was trying to bug her, and she just sort of threw him down, and he was just on his back like laying down like, oh, I've been pushed. It was just really cute. And the other gorillas were cool too. I saw the Festival of the Lion King in the new Harambe Theater. I definitely suggest, if you haven't seen Festival of the Lion King, check it out. I like the new theater. It's nice. I mean, it's kind of the same as the last theater, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the show. Went on Dinosaur twice. I used my Fast Pass the first time, and it was a 10-minute wait, so I went right back on. Love Dinosaur. I didn't get on last time because it was closed because of technical issues. So definitely it was cool that I got on there twice. And I got to say hi to Mrs. Cosby, of course, in the pre-show. After Dinosaur, I did the Primeval Whirl, and that was all right. I mean, it's been ages since I was on that, too. Then I ate lunch at the Flame Tree Barbecue and had a barbecue pork sandwich. And I had a guest with me the entire time I was eating. It was a stork I think it was a stork at least. I'm sure Safari Mike will tell me different. He was about the height of the table, and he was standing next to me the entire time I ate, watching me eat. And also, he kept going over to the table next to me, and had a brat going shoo, shoo at him, and he actually ran to me for protection. So I sort of bonded with that that stork.
Wes
Not
in
a weird way. but it was cool. It was sort of frightening at first. I also had a duck peck on my foot. So that was really odd. So if you're gonna eat at the Flame Tree Barbecue on the thing, just be prepared for any kind of animal visitors. Mostly of the bird kind. Speaking of birds, I saw the bird show, Flights of Wonder, for the first time, actually for the first time ever. I had never seen it before, and it was cool. It was different. It was funny with the Guano Joe guy, and funny enough, when they brought out the American Eagle, they're like, he does something really cool, and as soon as the guy said that, the bird crapped everywhere. And it was great because Guano Joe's like, is that what's so awesome that he does? And everyone just lost it and started laughing. And then I hit up Expedition Everest twice. I had my Fast Pass, and then it was just I went in the single rider's line and walked right on. I love that ride. I would say that is the best roller coaster in Disney World. And one of the best in the world. Just all the little details on that. The Yeti, of course, at the end. The going backwards, the track that's busted. Got on that twice. Went through the Maharaja Jungle Trek. Hadn't been on that in a long time either. And saw the tigers and the bats and all that good stuff. That's a really nice trek. And then went over I was bored, so I went on the Wildlife Express over to Conservation Station. So that was Animal Kingdom. And then I went over to Epcot to meet up with Jen for her portion of the trip.
I also stayed at All Star Music. I was actually in the country building in the complete end of the hotel property. So I don't know. I know Wes asked me who I made mad. I don't think I made anybody mad. I just kind of took my luck and took what I got. So I was in the country. So then I hopped on the bus after about an hour and went over to Epcot. And go ahead, you can tell the Club Cool story.
So, for those of you who don't know, what the big thing was with all of our follows and likes, it was that I had to drink many glasses of Beverly. We did 50 for each, well, one glass for every 50 likes, follows, whatever. So I ended up drinking 7 glasses. And those are new follows, thank God. We didn't do all of them. I would have had a lot. I would have had 20 glasses. But oh, that would have been horrible. But we did 7 glasses, and the guy in back of me had quite the time. Jen was taping, and we explained to him what I was doing, but it was fun. I'm gonna upload the video very soon, so everyone, it might even be up before this. So everyone will have fun with that and see me.
It was very hard not to film him the whole time.
Yeah. Then we rode a few rides. What'd we do? Nemo.
Land
again. Can't get enough of that.
Journeys in Imagination with Figment.
Yep.
Then I think we went for a walk.
Yep. Well, we went around World Showcase again, and we saw David Cook perform.
And
we saw
your appetizer.
Yep, the ravioli from Italy, which I liked. And we went on the path to the boardwalk and Yacht and Beach, because I'd never seen boardwalk. And then we took the monorail over to the TTC.
Mm-hmm.
And stopped at the Polynesian and had Captain Cook's for dinner. Oh, then we went upstairs, and I scared the lady at Ohana's, because I've always wanted to eat at Ohana's. And I walked in and I saw a restaurant, and I'm like, is this Ohana's? And Jen's like, yeah. I'm like, oh! And you can imagine what the lady thought was going on. I was very interested in Ohana's. Let's put it that way. Hopefully I can get in. Hopefully they don't have my picture hanging up after that. But we walked around the Polynesian a little bit, and that was cool. And then Jen decided it would be good to go in for a quick 45 minutes into the Magic Kingdom. We got to see the lit-up Cinderella Castle.
Mm-hmm. We got to walk through it, actually.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever saw that. That was cool. And we got on Haunted Mansion, and Jen was frightened by a cast member.
While Wes laughed at me.
And then we got on Pirates. Yeah, then that was it for the night, for Thursday night. And then Friday morning, we woke up, Magic Kingdom early.
Ugh.
We did the welcome show again. And then we went on a few rides.
Which it was my first time ever seeing that welcome show. I'm never up that early, let alone to make the drive all the way out there to Magic Kingdom. So it was worth it. I think I did complain once we were walking to the bus, but once we got there, it was worth it.
Jen went on Splash Mountain for the second time. Tell me your experience with that.
Let's just say it's a miracle Wes is still talking to me.
It wasn't bad, though. You didn't think?
But for some reason I had the brilliant idea to, hey, let's go on Splash Mountain. I'm already wet because I went through the Casey Jr.'s play area.
Yeah.
I never get the right name. It was a chilly morning, so I was like, all right, why not? So I went through there, so I was already wet. So I figured, all right, Splash Mountain, let's do it. So we decided to go on Splash Mountain. With just my luck, it was also a walk-on. So there was no wait. I had minimal time to kind of prepare myself. So we got in. And then I realized how nervous I was. So Wes got to witness me, like, kind of freaking out. Well, not kind of. I was really freaking out. So poor Wes.
We did, like, the Under the Sea again. We did Tiki Room.
Pirates.
Yeah. I did Big Thunder. I had my Fast Pass.
I went to go watch the Jack Sparrow Experience.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. But I will gladly join leagues with Jack Sparrow any day. So that's what I did. I don't like roller coasters. So I went on Big Thunder Mountain.
Yep. I love Big Thunder. So I was glad I got on it. Because I actually didn't get on it Monday because it was too long of a wait. I didn't have a Fast Pass. So I'm very glad I had the Fast Pass for Friday. Then I went on, speaking of Fast Passes, I got on the Jingle Cruise for the first time ever. And I got, the skipper wasn't that great, but it was cool. I'm glad I used the Fast Pass to see the Jingle Cruise. They had the gorilla portion of the Jeep turned over. They had like Christmas presents there and Santa hats on them and stuff like that. It was fun. They had some Christmas decorations up and whatnot. And they made Christmas jokes, of course, about in-laws and all that. So that was fun. Well, then we went on People Mover. And we had lunch at the Harbor House. That was the first time I ever ate there.
That's one of my favorite places.
Then it was time for my fast pass with Tinkerbell, and yeah, that was awesome. I got to see her new pad in Main Street. Main Street
Theater home.
Theater, yes. And she loved my I Heart Pixie shirt, of course. Tink showed me around her new place, and I have it on video, so that's cool. Then right after that, we went to Gaston's Tavern, and I got to try LeFou's Brew for the first time.
We got to sit in Gaston's chair.
Yes, of course. And we got to see Gaston outside, and he's great. We didn't actually meet him, but we were listening, and I was watching all the Cougars. Probably all the same Cougars that were in the Boy to Men concert. Outside of Gaston's Tavern. And Jen's friend Kristen met up with us. We did Carousel Progress and had some good laughs. It was time to line up for the new Frozen Castle show.
That was interesting, lining up for that.
Yeah. A lot of people were watching the show off of my camcorder that I was taping. Because many people could not see because it was so crowded.
I hope you can hear all their comments.
I hope so too. The comments are pretty interesting. I'm sort of afraid to upload it, but I will anyway.
It made the lighting ceremony even more entertaining.
Yeah. The news people were there for that.
Yep, the local news media.
And then I got the special Elsa card from the Sorcerers of Magic. The party exclusive. Elsa's Icy Shield.
Which is actually really cool.
Yeah.
It is nice.
We saw it snow on Main Street, and that was really cool. I really enjoyed the snow on Main Street. And it snowed the entire night on Main Street, so that was really sweet. And while Jen and Kristen were leaving to go wherever they were going to go for the evening, we ran into a very interesting cast member at the exit. He was very loudly, shall we say, wishing everyone a happy holiday.
But it was funny because we were standing by the firehouse, and
Yeah.
we were all just kind of talking, trying to kill time, debating whether or not we should even try and get a wristband, because Kristen and I couldn't get into the party, so we had to leave. So we're a little bitter about that. We're a little bitter, but that's okay. But all of a sudden we heard yelling. We thought people were getting into a fight. Like, people were, like, that angry that they're not able to stay for the party. And we realized it was the cast member screaming holiday greetings at people walking in.
Well, people walking in and leaving, yeah.
Yeah.
So we actually took, Kristen and I actually took a picture with the cast member, so we have it there.
Yeah, he was awesome. I
He
wish
was. So shout out to you.
got at guest services and like giving him a compliment. And we decided we were gonna go to Epcot because Epcot was still open, and we saw the crowd and 10,000 of our closest friends that were sardined into the monorail. We decided that would not be a good idea. While they emptied out of the Magic Kingdom for Wes's party, they all followed us to Epcot. So we bailed.
It was my party. I threw it that night. Then I went and I rode Splash Mountain one more time and got soaked. I was in the front seat. And then it was time for the Christmas parade, the Once Upon a Christmas parade. I enjoyed that. There, lots of cool floats. Anna and Elsa are in there, of course. Kristoff is there with the ice harvesters. Skiers. Olaf is in that as well. And of course, reindeer I thought were cool. The marching soldiers that you see every year in the Christmas parade on ABC. Santa, of course, is at the end. And of course, you know, Mickey and Alice and the princes and princesses and all that good stuff. Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope were in it. And that was fun. I really liked the parade. Then they had to Celebrate the Magic Christmas version, which isn't that different than the regular version, except at the end. And then the Wishes fireworks I really enjoyed. Probably the best fireworks I've seen in the parks, in fact. The Christmas version of Wishes. Really, really cool fireworks. And they were giving out hot chocolate and cookies as a snack. We're going to talk a little about the party next week on a special episode all about it. So I won't go into too much detail, but I did get a really cool photo op with all of the 7 dwarves. That was awesome. And then, of course, I rode a few more rides. I rode Haunted Mansion again and Big Thunder. Space Mountain, and yeah, that was pretty much it. Oh, and I got to see Country Bears with just 4 other people at the very end of the night, so I love that too. The VIP showing, we called it. I did not sleep much that night.
You didn't sleep at all.
Oh yeah, in fact, not at all. Yeah, because my flight was at 6:20 and the Magic Express came to pick me up at 3:20, which, by the way, was packed. There was not a seat to be seen on the Magic Express that was empty. Really? Yeah. Evidently, a lot of people have early flights, so I thought I was gonna have like the thing to myself. But the guy if this was a packed coach, and the guy was actually really funny, but no one appreciated his humor that early. Like, I was the only person laughing. So I made it to the Orlando airport, and I had somewhat of a celebrity sighting. Well, it was a celebrity sighting. I just got from Starbucks, got my drink, and got to the gate. And I looked over at the gate next to mine, and I'm thinking, that really looks like Craig Robinson over there, who, of course, is on shows like The Office. He's in movies, This Is the End, Hot Tub Time Machine. I'm sure if you see his picture, you know him. And I'm thinking, that really looks like him, but I don't want to be like an idiot. And if it's not him, I'll really look like an idiot. So then a girl and her boyfriend went over, and we're talking to him a little bit, and took a picture with him. I'm like, it is him. So I went over and asked him if he would take a picture, and he said, sure thing. And he was over there eating, so he just threw his stuff away and then took a picture with me. It's awesome.
Right, so after Wes left, I had Disney all to myself, so I enjoyed it. And I took a walking tour around All-Star Music, because she didn't really get to see it. She kind of rushed to meet us at Magic Kingdom. So we went on a walking tour. We got to explore. We were really upset we didn't bring our bathing suits. The water was so nice. I finally got to feel it, by the way. It was warm. We took the bus. We went to downtown Disney. We got Earl's sandwich. I got bacon, egg, and cheddar sandwich. That was interesting. But I know she got an egg white and avocado bagel. Both of us had really good food. Then we decided, all right, let's go to Hollywood Studios. So we got to go around Hollywood Studios. We had an adult beverage, which was on the Instagram. We went to the frozen snow play area thing. And it was actually really cool there. We sat there long enough, and we sat on one of their benches. And we just watched the background. And you can see the northern lights flashing across the background. And that was really cool. That was an effect I didn't notice until then. Because it looks like you're playing in the Twilight almost. Then we went to the Muppets. We tried to get into the Frozen sing-along, but they said fast pass only. Then we went on the Great Movie Ride, and we got the Mobster. And I was really hoping for the Cowboy, but that's okay. We saw shush. We also we went to the Big Hero 6 meet and greet, which is nice. So we saw Baymax, Max and Hero. And then we were both so tired that we bailed out on Hollywood Studios from lack of sleep. So that was my weekend.
I do, of course, want to show everybody my big, some of the things I bought from this trip. Obviously, I'm wearing one right here. This is from Memento Mori's, and this is the Ghost Host t-shirt. The attire that they wear, of course, in the Haunted Mansion on a t-shirt. You know, like your tuxedo t-shirts and stuff. I was gonna get a different t-shirt, but I thought this one was really cool, and ended up with this one.
I'll get the shirt next time.
Yeah, probably. With the Memento Mori's going on with that, I also picked up the Hitchhiking Ghost glow-in-the-dark action figure, because I have to, because think of the title of our show, people. And not to mention, they're just pretty awesome. Yeah, I saw quite a few people that were like, I'm gonna buy this. Like, they saw it and they just picked it up and bought it. And one of the coolest things, of course, that they have in that shop is I don't even know what it's officially called, but it's a photo to make you look like the ghost host in the foyer of a live picture of you. There, they take the regular picture, and then you move it like that, and it's the dead version of you, or ghost version, which is pretty frightening, but everyone I've shown it to has absolutely loved it. And I thought for sure, we talked about it before on here, Jen, that it was going to be like $40 or something, but it's only $19.95, and definitely do it if you get the chance, or if you really want to, definitely do it.
I told you so.
Yeah. And what's really cool, you can't really see it on here, but like with this version, the glasses are like, they told me to keep my glasses on because I want to take them off. Like the glass is cracked in the picture, so it looks really cool. I had to pick up a stuffed Figment because I could not find mine from when I was a kid. So I have to have a stuffed Figment. Everyone has to have a stuffed Figment. Because I love... Whoop! There he goes. He just took a flight. Whee! And then there is the piece de la resistance.
That I heard about all weekend.
Yes. I saw this picture at the animation... the Magic of Disney Animation, and I debated about it, and I said if I don't get it, I'm gonna regret it. So I had to. It is a painted picture of. It's called the Snow Queen, of course, but it is Elsa, of course, from the Let It Go scene, and I'm just like I gotta get it. So.
Well, isn't that your favorite scene in the movie?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite scene in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, see.
So this is gonna go in my Disney Parks room whenever I create that as like one of the grand showpieces. So that was my big splurge during the time. I did also get some pins as well, but this was the big kahuna of my trip right here. So you know me, I'll be planning my next trip soon, whether it be out to California or back to Orlando. It'll be soon enough. I'm sure it'll be sometime next year. All right, well that's all the time we've got for this episode. Jen, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on Twitter at JenMia83.
Don't forget to follow our other hitchhiking host at Mandy Disney. Well, it's Mandy. And her Flickr is Storybook Princess. Then for me, it's at Wes A-List on Twitter. And youtube.com/westside515 for my movie reviews. Our hitchhiking host links, which one day might lead to me doing something else, at HitchHostShow on Twitter, facebook.com/HitchHostShow, youtube.com/HitchHostShow, our Instagram at HitchHostShow, which will be posting many, many pictures from this last vacation. And of course, we already did actually. There's some on there. I'll be posting more. I'll be posting more pictures from my California trip back in May. We're going to sort of rotate every day. So there's that. Yes, and that's all. That's all, folks. So until next time, don't forget to...
Hurry back,
for the next episode.
Bye.